Hello, my beautiful people. I hope we are all doing great today. I welcome us all once again to Rita's Fashion TV. My name is Chinwe. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching us how I achieved the down part of this dress that you can see here, how I use nets and achieve it. If that's something you would like to learn, please stay to the end of this video. And if today is your first time of joining us on this family, you're still very welcome. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscription button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell as well so that you get notified once I upload new videos. And to my old subscribers, thank you so much for always staying with us. So let's go straight into the tutorial. So here are the materials that I use for this tutorial. So I use one roll of net. It's 50 yards that I have here. That's what I use for that down part. So for my upper part, for the base, I use this doll face to create the base that will carry this net. When we get there, you will understand. And then I use my cup for my upper part, boning for my bust caging. Sorry, I did not do video on all those ones. The little video I did, I lost it. So that's why I'll be focusing on the down parts on this video. Then I use this sequence. I actually use 1.5 yard of that sequence for this particular style. Then the other materials that we need for cutting, my ruler, my pin, my chalk, my tape, my scissors, and all what have you. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to use this my doll face to cut the base of that dress. What I mean by the base is this is the lining that will carry that net. We are going to be cutting out this lining. That's what we are going to be laying the net on. So we cannot just sew net alone. So something has to carry it. So this is that base that will carry that net. So I'm using a half circle to create that base. That's what I use. So you see the pointy part of your fabric, you just fold it into two, the way I just did on this video. And then I'm going to determine the measurement that you need for where the net is going. My own is going below my hip. So I'm trying to get the measurement I need there that will go below my hip. So from there, I'll measure back to the pinnacle like this. So what I have there is 21. So I will use that 21 now to measure around to get the weight that I want and the shape that I want it to have after cutting. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'll be using that 21 inches. I'll go back to the pinnacle like this again. Then I will mark. So that's what I'll do until I mark to the end of this part. And that will give me the measurement of what I want to have under my below knee. What I have there, I think is 38 or 37 thereabout. So that's what I'm measuring out here. Divided by 2, because this net is just by 2. So I think I have 17 here after measuring. I think I have around 17 that place, because that's what I need for that down place. And because I want it to be very firm. So I did not really add any allowance for sewing, because my doll face is stretchy somehow. So I don't want it to increase to more than what I want to have there. So after I've achieved the measurement I want on the upper part, the next thing is now to measure the full length of the base that I want. So for this full length, I use 31. That's the full length that I want. So that's what I'm marking here. I think it's 31 thereabout. So I'll now follow that and mark it all the way to the fullness of this doll face that I folded. Remember, I said I'm using a half circle. So that's why I just folded it into 2. So if you fold into 2, you'll be able to get the circumference of what you have, of what you want. If it's your waist that you're putting it, if it's your hip, divided by 2. So that's what I measure on that upper part. And then from there now, I'm taking the full length that I want this base to have. So that's just what I'm doing here. So just watch and you will understand. So guys, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, and share with your friends. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscription button And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell as well, so that you get notified once I upload new videos. Thank you so much, and God bless. So that's what I'm trying to just mark out, the full length of these clothes. So there's not too much talk on this video. It's just you pay attention, you understand it. This is just the base that will carry the net that I'm cutting out. And I'm using half circle method to cut it because I don't want it to be too full. So I just want it to have half circle size. So that's what I've marked out the circumference for the hip side where it's going, and then I've marked the full length down here. So the next thing now is to go ahead and cut it out. Cut here, and then I cut the down part. So I decided to add extra 3 inches on this full length on this part because I wanted it to be sweeping the floor. Initially, the length I measured was not sweeping the floor, so I decided I think I would like it to sweep the floor. So I added extra 3 inches to the length. So if you look here, you will see that extra 3 inches that I added. That's what I'm cutting out. So we'll cut this out. I'll keep it aside, and then I'll show us how to work on our net. So if you see that this our cutting and shape is not straight. So you follow the shape that it gave you there. That's what you're going to cut. You should not have a straight hem there. You should be a little bit curvy. So I'll keep this aside now. This is it. This is what it looks like after cutting. Can you see? The flay is not too much, and it's not straight either. So it's half flay method that I use in cutting. So I'll keep this aside now. Then I'll show us how to work on our net before we start laying it on this base. So this is my net here. I folded it like I think I have up to 8 or thereabout layers here in order to make it faster for me to cut. You can decide to cut your own 1 if you want with single net, but I'm laying mine to help increase speed because I really had very short period to finish this dress. Yeah, so the wideness I need for my net is 2 inches. So that's what I'm marking out here. So I'm marking out 2 inches wideness of net. So when I mark it out, I'll connect it like this. That's the wideness I want this net to be. When I cut it out and show you, you'll understand what I mean here. So I'll mark it to the full length of this net, and then I'll cut it out. I'll mark as many as possible. So see it, I'm marking another one too, another 2 inches. So I'll mark it to the end of these folded nets that I have on my table here. I'll keep them aside. I will keep up cutting. You do a lot of cutting here because you need a lot of net in order to achieve that down part. This 50 years, I think at the end of the day, remain only, 5 years or thereabout. So I'll mark as much as, and then I will cut them all out. So I'm just showing us this for the purpose of this video. So I'll mark, like I said, to the full length of these nets. I'll keep marking that to 2 inches. The same thing, I'll mark, connect, and then I'll cut them out. And then I'll come and show us how we'll form the ruffles with this net. So just keep watching and concentrate. You understand, it's very simple, it's very easy to achieve. It's very easy, very simple to achieve. So I'll go now and cut them, mark as plain. So this is the nets that I've cut. So I just show us this little for the purpose of this video. We cut at the end of it. Our shop was almost filled up with net. So like I told us, it's 2 inches wideness. Can you see it? It's 2 inches wideness. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take it to the machine. Remove it one after the other, because I'm going to be forming it 1. take it to the machine and show us. So for us to form the ruffles, this thin rope I'm having here, we call it smoky thread. So that's what we use in forming the ruffles on the net. So this smoky thread, if you have used it before, you know that the first thing you do is you take up your reeler and you reel it inside. You reel it like this, the same way we reel our normal thread on our reeler. So you reel it like this. You reel it until this reeler is almost filled up, or to the quantity that you want, because we are doing plenty. We did up to 20 reelers and even more than. Continue using them to finish up. So when you fill it up like this, you put it inside your shuttle. Please make sure you use a shuttle that is not really good, that is a bit loose, that is bad, because if you use your new shuttle, it's going to spoil it. So you now insert it under your machine like that, and then you fix your thread, and then you start sewing. So once you start sewing, you see at the back it will be gathering the net. So can you see it? As we are sewing it like this, the net is gathering at the back. It's forming the ruffles that we need. Believe me, this is the easiest way you can make this down part of this dress, because at the beginning we used our hand to be forming the ruffles with the net at the beginning part of this dress, of the making of that down part, because I wanted that down part to be a bit thick. And my girl was like, maybe let's use that method, but we spent like 3 days and we have not gone anywhere. So we now went back to this method. So this is the fastest method you can use. As you're forming those ruffles, you can form as many as possible. Or if you're two in your shop, one person can be forming these ruffles, another person will be laying it on that base. Within 2 to 3 days, you will be done. So once we are done, so this is the ruffles. I just show us this little, but believe me, it's plenty. So this is how the ruffles look like. So that's what we are going to now start laying on that base, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, until you fill up that base. So when we get there, you understand. So guys, this is the beginning part of that laying of this net that I was telling us about. You see that we used our hand to be forming the ruffles, because I wanted this part to be thick, because that's the down part. So my girl was like, Madam, are you sure we're not going to use this method to finish it? But the method was not going anywhere. It was not going anywhere. So we now had to resort back to the one we used, the smoky thread to form. It's easier and faster, believe me. So your work here is to be laying these nets one beside each other. As you're laying, you raise the first one that you have laid, and then you lay these other nets very close to it. That's the work here. This is what you'll be doing until you finish covering up this base with your net. So this is the beginning part. I'll also show us the other parts when we started using the nets that we used the smoky thread to form the ruffles. That's so easy, so neat, and so fast. So this is me here removing the first one that I've laid to lay the second one beside it. So that's the work you have here to do. You'll be removing the first one that you lay, and then lay the other one beside it, very as close as possible beside it. So that's what we'll be doing until we finish up this base, finish covering the whole of this base with that ruffle. My sister, is not a child's play, it's not a small work. So you have to have your mineral, you have to have your popcorn, anything that you can use to be comfortable yourself while you're doing this work. So this is when we decided to start using our ruffles, the net that we use the smoky thread to form. So can you see it here? So just like I said, you remove the first one, the last one up the way, and then you lay the net that you want to lay very close to it. That's just for your work here. So that's how you keep laying until you finish covering the whole base with nets. So you will not see any base at all. So it's just the net. So can you see what I'm doing here? You remove from the way, and then you lay the next one very close to it. So that's just it. So it's very easy. Even though it's time consuming, you just have to have patience while doing it. So you can do it neatly so that after you're sewing, nobody is going to see the base at all. And then for the smoky thread that we use, you can use any color, because believe me, it's not going to show. Once you do your work very well and cover and place them very close to each other, the thread that you use is not going to show at all. For the smoky thread, that's what I'm talking about. You can use the matching thread for the gold color for the upper part, for the down part, or while stitching it down on this place. But for your smoky thread, you can use, because the black is easy to and very common to come by, so you can use it to form your ruffles. It's not going to show. So this is us. Have you seen how far we have gone here in covering that base with this our ruffled net? So another thing you need to do here is, these nets will be folding, so you have to help it and be turning it out so that it will be the front part, the part that you're supposed to sew, that you're sewing. So you don't go and sew folding, because if you sew it folding like that, it's going to affect the outcome and look of your work at the end of the day. So you have to be careful. You use your hand and be turning out the nets, the ruffles that you form, so to be sure it's not folding. So if you look at me, you see what I mean by turning it out. So you arrange it well before you stitch down. So this is basically what I'm going to be doing until I fill up the whole of this base. And once I'm done with this, I'll just go ahead and attach it to the upper parts of my dress, which I've already made. Sorry, I lost the video of that upper part. So that's why I decided to just concentrate on this down part, because I know that's where most people's interest will be on. And that's the cocoa of this style, that down part. So, but if you want me to make a video on the upper part too, just leave a comment on the comment section, and I will do that later. And for the sleeve too, it's the same method that I used to achieve that sleeve. You cut out the base of your sleeve, and then you use this net to cover it up, and that's it. So can you see this is the outcome after I've joined it to the upper part of the dress? So this is what we have. Isn't this so lovely? So go ahead and try this. You can use this for your baby dress. You can use it for only your sleeve. You can even use it for the upper part of your blouse and all that. Just be creative with it. So guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for staying with us till this part. So this is me rocking my dress to my award show. So till I see you again in my next video, do take care of yourself. And please don't forget to like this video, comment, and share with your friends. Bye-bye.